Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to Good Bets, Good Times. This is the podcast for the weekend warriors, the recreational degens, all looking to level up their sports betting game and, have a good damn time doing it. So thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Nate Tuttle of NT Sports. Grab your favorite beverage, kick back, and let's talk some ball, shall we? This is episode 19. We're rolling right along here. Took a little week off last week, but we are back. And today we'll recap the weekend in college football and NFL betting. Wins, losses, all the lessons learned along the way. And then we'll hit this week's slate. My bets I've locked in so far. Some games we're circling. The blacklist, and of course, the showstopper, the best bet of the weekend. And if you've been following along, you've been joining us the past few weeks, and you haven't yet, do us a favor, hit subscribe, drop a rating, follow along on all the social medias, and follow along on the Action app as well, where I post all of my picks, all of my plays throughout the week, some things we'll talk about on the podcast. We bet early in the week. We may throw in some things over the weekend. If you were following along last weekend, we kind of went full degen last weekend. Not gonna lie, we were playing a little bit of everything. So just having a little fun. Was feeling it. Sort of a little heat check situation, just feeling good about the board and had a little extra time on my hands. We're talking live bets. We bet weekday conference USA. We bet Friday night lights. We bet parlays, single game parlays, anytime touchdowns in the NFL, live anytime touchdowns in the NFL. You name it. We threw a couple of responsible, small sized half units on it. Had a little fun. And we came in on top, actually. Won a little money, didn't lose anything, as long as you're following your bankroll management, betting small units, and you're being responsible. So have a good time. Have at it. Sometimes you got to let loose. Sometimes you got to feast a little bit. That's how we do this. Never lose sight of why we bet sports in the first place, because we love sports. We love the sweat. As disciplined and as honed into my process as I try to be week over week, sometimes just got to let loose, have a little fun. And that's what we did. But we're back. Here we go. Locked in again. With that being said, let's recap the weekend. The good, the bad, the what the fuck. Results. So not including any of my nonsense, my degen nonsense from the weekend. All of our regular bets. So college football, pretty solid week. 5-1-1. Plus 3.7 units in college football. NFL, only 1-2, minus 1.2 units. And the good. Had some success during the week. Went 3-1 during the week. Started off with Arkansas State plus 7 versus South Alabama. Got the UTEP money line. Ugly bet. Had to get one back after I lost on UTEP the week before. It's a good spot for them. Get that W against a winless Sam Houston State Bearcats. Friday night, we did roll with Chapel Bill and the UNC Tar Heels plus 10 at Cal. They battled. Not going to lie, did not stay up till 1 in the morning to watch that on the East Coast. But came out with a W there. Rolling into Saturday college football, we had Vandy money line. Took care of business against LSU. SMU plus 10 against Clemson. Cade Klubnik less Clemson. We bet this at plus 10. I think when they announced Klubnik out, this went down to 3.5 at one point for Clemson. So sitting pretty good there. Kentucky plus 13.5. This closed maybe 12.5. We knew it was going to be an ugly game at Kentucky. We know how this Texas offense is. The worry was, can Kentucky score any points? And they kept it close. Took it to overtime and ended up losing the game. But yeah, just like we thought, Kentucky uglied this one up and kept it within the 2 touchdowns. Good to get one push USC. This one's I'm frustrated about because there was a lot of 10.5s available throughout the week. And we got the plus 10. Should have waited till closer to kickoff on this one. I thought this would drop back down under 10, but it seems like 10 was the number, and 10 was spot on. That was the number. If you bet 9.5 USC or bet 9.5 Notre Dame earlier in the week, you won. If you bet 10.5 closer to kick with USC, you won. So that's what happens. Those half points matter around those key numbers. NFL, we got Dolphins money line or Browns money line against the Dolphins. Just ugly, terrible game. Tua, anytime he plays outdoor on the road in bad environment, like you gotta fade him. I mean, he threw pick after pick. Dolphins looked about as bad as they possibly could look last weekend against the Browns. Judkins is a beast, and that Browns defense at home in the ugly weather. I'm going to be on them most of the time. The bad, not too much, to be honest. We did lose a weekday game. WKU got rocked. We had them in -8.5. Predicted this well over 10. And FIU came out and just dominated this game. It wasn't even close. They won by a couple touchdowns. So just bad bet on WKU, Western Kentucky. We did get them this week, though. We were on Western Kentucky last night. They pulled out an upset in overtime with their backup quarterback. So Hilltoppers, we're appreciate it. Got us back. All good. Vikings +2.5, man. They were driving for the cover. They kept this close. Lost by 6. Had a shot to keep this within the number. Couldn't get it done against the Eagles at home. And then, last but not least, the what the fuck of the weekend, the Las Vegas Raiders +13. Now, I know it's the Chiefs, but this is a divisional game. The Raiders always played them tough, but they didn't even show up. This was 31-0. It got so bad at the end. The Chiefs were kneeling the ball with 2 minutes to go. They weren't even trying. Neither team was trying. They both gave up. 31-0. Geno Smith is terrible. The Chiefs are back to, looks like, possibly being the best team in the league. Destined to go back and win this division and roll to the Super Bowl. The way the Ravens are playing, the way the Bills have lost 2 in a row, it's scary. When they're cooking, they got Rashee Rice back. When they're cooking like this, they're tough to beat, and we got in front of it. Thought that this would be a good spot for the Raiders to at least show up and make this semi-respectable. And well, we were dead wrong. This team's toast. Geno's toast. They might have to turn to Kenny Pickett pretty soon. Pete Carroll, I don't know what he's doing out there, trying to rebuild this team, but I can't imagine he's going to be coaching there much longer. And they're going to have some decisions to make out in Las Vegas about this Raiders team. This is bad. And that's our recap. So far this week, like I said, we have a few weekday bets we got in. We got Western Kentucky last night. Did lose. We bet FIU. Man, it was a Vice night. They had the stadium all tricked out. They had the black and Miami Vice themed uniforms, Pitbull Stadium, and they just got rocked by Kennesaw. So, but hey, we did get Western Kentucky. They ended up winning the game outright. That line, we got at 3.5. It moved up to 5.5 in favor of Louisiana Tech after MacGyver, who allegedly was not on the injury report, but apparently he was still banged up because he did not start the game. Backup quarterback who played really well, Tisdale, electric dual threat quarterback. Came out and won the game. Went for 2 in overtime. Won the game. Excellent game. Love me some weekday Conference USA. Then tonight we're on New Mexico State +2.5, +2 against Missouri State. Missouri State's quarterback's back. That line did move up a little bit, so we lost a little value there. But I like the Lobos at home tonight. And then what else? What have you locked in so far this weekend? Not too much. So far, only 3 bets in college, 2 in the NFL. 1 we'll save at the end for the best bet. Starting us off, we got the Buffalo Bulls -9.5 versus the Akron Zips. This game's in Buffalo. 1 p.m. kickoff, ESPN Plus if you're a sicko and you want to catch this one. But this comes down to, this is a good buy low spot, in my opinion, on the Buffalo Bulls. So trust in the numbers here. We got this at -12.5 projected. So this line did move down, opened at 10.5, moved down to 9.5. Looks like still all 9.5s across the board. Different juice, pretty even, flat 9.5. This Buffalo Bulls team is a team that everyone had high hopes for in the MAC this season and have kind of underachieved so far in a way. I mean, they haven't covered a spread in 5 games. They almost lost to UMass at UMass, had a miracle win at the end there. Even though everyone on social media was tweeting about UMass finally gets a W, 16.5-point underdogs. And they went quick 3-and-out, gave the ball back to Buffalo with less than a minute to go. And 2 plays later, Buffalo scores touchdown and wins that game. Barely beat Kent State, beat Eastern Michigan by 1, back-to-back losses to UConn and Troy. Haven't covered since early September against St. Francis, which is perfect. This is, like I said, this is a buy low spot on Buffalo. We have them at 12.5. We even adjusted a little bit given our preseason ratings for Buffalo. Maybe have been a bit higher than they needed to be. And this is an Akron Zips team as well that, we know they're ineligible. They got really nothing to play for. They got 4 games left in the season, and they're already 2-6. Did get a upset win a few weeks ago against Central Michigan at home. But this Buffalo team's got to get this turned around. They're still undefeated in the conference, 3-0 in the MAC. They have a clear path to the MAC championship game, and this is a get-right spot at home against Akron, -9.5, rolling with the Bulls here. Next up, we have Toledo. The Toledo Rockets heading out to Pullman, Washington to face Washington State. And we got this Toledo +2.5. This line is moved down to -1.5. So open as Toledo as a slate 1.5 point favorite, flipped, went all the way up to 2.5, and it's back down to 1.5. We have this projected at Toledo -4, which may be a little aggressive, but hey, I mean, at getting 6 points of value, even if we adjust down to the market a little bit, I mean, at 4, we will take the Rockets here. And this is another spot play also. I mean, Toledo's had an up and down season, a team that was expected to kind of roll through the MAC and have a fairly straightforward path to the MAC championship game, and lost 2 unexpected games, both as double-digit favorites against Western Michigan, and then again at Bowling Green, blowing a 21-0 lead in that game somehow. But they travel out to Pullman to play this Washington State team who's coming back home after, 3 straight road games, 2 of which they played at Ole Miss, lost by 3 as a 33-point dog. Battled, played Virginia, lost by 2 as a 15.5 point dog, was winning most of that game. Now they come back, they play a MAC school. They're only -1.5 point favorites here. This is a bet on Toledo in the fact that they step up against these Power 5 schools that they play, Power 4 schools. Did it earlier this year against Kentucky as 10-point dogs, covered that spread, lost by 8, but battled. I think it's the same thing here against Washington State. I think they go out there, they have a better defense. Washington State's been pretty inconsistent throughout the season on offense, and I imagine having 3 straight road games, back-to-back games against top 25 teams, battling, coming real close to pulling some upsets there, and then coming back home to face a MAC school, got to be a letdown spot. Trusting the numbers here, trusting Jason Candle and this Toledo team to step up against, I guess technically not Power 5, sort of Pac-12-ish Washington State Independent. I don't know, whatever you want to call them, but this is not a Group of 5 school. So like Toledo here to go out, take care of business, probably win the game outright, but I'll take the 2.5 points there, at least keep this one close. Next up in college football, we have LSU at home in Death Valley, Baton Rouge, against Texas A&M, number 3 in the country. Texas A&M coming into town, riding high right now, 7-0. And a couple of things here. One, this is a desperation spot for LSU. They've already have 2 losses on the year. Just lost at Vandy last week, lost at Ole Miss. But the good news is they're coming back home. They're playing a Texas A&M team that is rolling right now. And we got this number, LSU +3. I think it's down to 2.5 now. And if you're going to give me a field goal with LSU at home against a highly ranked Texas A&M team who is probably at the peak of their value at this point, this is a good team, not going to lie. I mean, they pulled out one at Notre Dame. They probably should have lost. Have beat a handful of mediocre SEC schools, Auburn at home, Mississippi State at home, Florida at home, won on the road, and only beat Arkansas by 3 last week, and now they go down to LSU. This is a great spot for LSU. At desperate times here for Brian Kelly and this LSU team, if they want to stay alive and have a shot still at the college football playoff, which if they go in and win this, I mean, they got Alabama next week and Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and finish at Oklahoma. So it's a tough road. If they lose this game, they're pretty much done. And we know Garrett Nussmeier and this LSU offense hasn't looked great so far this year. But if this A&M team is vulnerable anywhere, it's definitely been on the defensive side of the ball. LSU's defense is solid, even with Harold Perkins, starting linebacker, out for the season. So give me the 3 points with the home dog in a prime time ABC game down in Baton Rouge. Next up, over to the NFL. This is one where I kind of missed a number that I would have preferred here, but we got Pittsburgh Steelers at home, Sunday Night Football, wearing the throwbacks. Got them at +3, -108. Missed the 3.5. The hook would have been the cherry on top here, but still like it at 3. You're giving me Mike Tomlin with extra rest, prime time, home dog. This is the spot for the Steelers coming off that ugly loss against the Bengals. And the Green Bay just hasn't looked right. I don't know what it is, but this team is kind of been struggling the past few weeks, playing really close games against teams that they're heavily favored against. Obviously, there's concerns here on the Steelers side of the ball. Look at the Steelers defense. It cannot just can get stops. Completely got torched by Joe Flacco on Thursday night. But we project this game at Green Bay -1. So like the value at the 3. Anything 3 or above. This, I don't know if this is going to go. I highly doubt they're going to give the hook back. If the hook does pop up, watch out for it. If it does, pounce on it. It's not going to last very long. This game will probably close at 3. I don't even know if it'll get to 2.5. It might get to 2.5. I feel like folks will buy back up on Green Bay if it does. So, but I'm comfortable with the 3. We know this is the Aaron Rodgers revenge spot as well. And as rough as the Steelers defense has looked, with the extra rest, extra time to prepare for this Packers team, we're really liking this spot. It's going to be grinded out. My opinion, low scoring. The total's gone down to 44.5 from 46.5. Steelers, I'll go this one up, force some turnovers, which they also couldn't do last Thursday night. Get in Jordan Love's face, slow down Josh Jacobs, and give me the Steelers +3, get it home. Get it done at home on Sunday Night Football. Handful of games we're circling. We haven't fired on yet. I don't know how much more we're going to get down on. Starting in college football, I do like, man, this is one of those fishy ones I've been saying all season. Anytime you see this ranked road opponent against a unranked home team, it's a little fishy, but this one's gotten a little out of hand. This is up to -3. Iowa State, number 7 BYU coming to town. And I've been down on this BYU team, and it might be time to buy. If you can get this one at 3, but there's still some 3s hanging out there, some 2.5s. Open at 1.5. BYU got bought all the way up to 2.5 to 3 at a lot of books. But I like this Bear Bachmeier kid. I think this BYU team is still slightly underrated. And I'm hesitant just because of the spot. I'm going to dig in a little bit more here. But like I said, my numbers have this at BYU -2. That's a 5-point swing there. And the line's moved a ton. It does look like it's moving back down to the 2.5. It's juiced up to +3. There are some -110s in the +3, so if you still want to buy it, maybe I will jump on this one. But always hesitant when I see that unranked favorite versus a highly ranked opponent, especially an undefeated opponent. Could be BYU. Maybe we're overvaluing BYU at this point. It's tough. But do lean towards BYU at 3 or above. Anything under 3, I would probably stay away. Missouri, another +3. These +3s are getting me. I think this is a good matchup for Vanderbilt, who's riding high right now. Off that big win against LSU. Missouri's a team coming off that overtime win against Auburn. Now they go on the road to Vanderbilt. It's going to be another street fight type game. And give me a field goal with this Missouri team, who I think is still slightly undervalued. I got this projected at Vanderbilt -0.5 point. Would make Missouri a favorite on neutral. Gonna eye this one up. Gonna see where's it sitting now in the market. This is there's still like a juiced up 3 out there still. So this is back down to 2.5, which I kind of like. So I think I'm gonna have to jump on the Missouri bet here. Right after I jump off, if I can still find this 3.5 with the hook or with the -115, it's probably my limit there. Yeah. I think that's a buy. Tucking myself into Missouri here. Arkansas money line. I think Auburn's toast, man. I think Hugh Freeze is on the way out. Auburn, tough overtime loss. Just its season's done. The coach is going to get fired. Arkansas already fired their coach. Bobby Petrino is coaching for a job at this point. I got Arkansas as a 1-point favorite. This line is sitting at -1, -1.5. Hasn't really moved either direction much. Kind of sitting pretty steady. So going to look into this one more. This is a midday 12:45 game down in Arkansas. It's a sleepy spot. I think Arkansas's offense can rout this Auburn team, who pretty much got nothing left to play for. Leaning towards the Hogs here. We'll probably jump on that one. Another one mine up. Boston College is up to 26 the last time I checked against Louisville, at Louisville, coming off that big upset win. Yeah, there's a 26.5 out there. Open 22.5. It's moved 4 points up to 25, 26.5. 26 is out there. So at 26.5, this may have to be a buy for me on Boston College. This is a tough spot for Louisville. Coming off that huge upset win, coming back home. Boston College, this is not a great team, obviously, but this is just, to me, one of those sleepy spots here for Louisville. Who they got next on their schedule? now that we're eyeing this up. This is a night game in Louisville too. They're ranked up to number 19. They're sitting at 5-1. Boston College 1-6. I imagine there's going to be some buyback here. This number has gotten a little out of control. Boston College has lost 5 games in a row and haven't covered the spread in any. Actually, they lost 6 games in a row. Haven't covered in 5 straight games. This team's pretty much toast. There's absolutely no reason to bet on Boston College in this game. Louisville beat Miami. They should beat Virginia. They should be undefeated, to be honest. 2-5 against the spread this year. Cover against Pitt on the road. Beat Miami on the road. Coming back home. Didn't cover against BG. 26.5 point favorites. MU didn't cover as 15.5 point favorites. On didn't cover as 38.5 point favorites. This might be a fade spot. If you can snag the 26 or better, 26.5, 26 on Boston College, another one I think I might have just talked myself into. Gonna look at this a little bit more. Gonna look at some injury reports and see, make sure there's nothing I'm missing here. That's the reason this line's, anytime my lines move forward, typically 3 to 4 points, and I'm seeing value on the other side, that's usually a buy point for me. So I want to watch the market. I want to see where these lines go, but it gets to a point where sometimes the lines go too high, and I want to try to get ahead of the buyback. So I don't think this is going to get higher than 26.5. I mean, 27 would definitely be a buy, but I think probably the 25 range is probably where this one's going to sit, 25.5. So we'll see here. But I like this spot up for Boston College, and numbers back it up here. I only have Louisville favored by 22.5. Maybe I haven't adjusted enough off of that win off Miami. 26, that's 4 points of value here. So I got a little bit of wiggle room. And the NFL, there's a handful of NFL games that we're kind of eyeing up. Vikings, Chargers, the plus 3.5 is intriguing. Don't mind jumping on. This is a Thursday night game. 3.5s are mostly gone. There's still a minus 115 out there. That'd be the only play for me on this. Still lost on the Vikings last week. Don't fully trust Carson Wentz, but this Chargers team is insanely banged up. Thursday night football, might have to jump on that hook there. Ravens minus 6.5 versus the Bears. I just don't know how accurate my numbers can be given the injuries, how bad this Baltimore defense has been, and Lamar coming back, hopefully healthy. If Lamar's back and healthy, I mean, this Bears team's won 4 in a row. They're riding high. This is Baltimore at home. It's hard not to jump on the Ravens, anything under a touchdown here. But still a little nervous about Lamar coming back. I'm not sure how much to adjust with him coming back. I make it right now minus 7.5. So that's a point of value. I think anything under a field goal would probably jump on the Ravens, but still going to wait this one out. The Jets are popping up here. I hate it. They're up to 6.5 now against the Bengals. I have it at 4.5. This is another one. Bengals extra rest. The Jets quarterback situation is in flux. Fields got benched. Tyrod's supposed to play. Now Tyrod might be hurt. Fields might be playing again. The owner's talking shit about the quarterback situation. I don't know what to make of this, but this seems like a spot for the Jets against Mr. Joe Flacco here. But we'll see. I hate betting the Jets. Broncos, after that wild one against New York, they're at home again, -3. This number's dropped down to -3 at a lot of places. Is it still at -3? 3.5. Yeah, went from 5.5 down to 3.5. I think I think 3 is probably the buy point here. If you get a field goal with the Broncos, Cowboys coming in, still riding high. Just routed the Commanders last week. Don't want to get in front of this Cowboys train again. But was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, when we went with Carolina as 3.5 point dogs against this Cowboys team. Beat up on the Commanders last week. Jaden Daniels hurt again. Now they go to Denver with this defense. Can this defense slow down? This Denver defense slow down the Cowboys? Can Bo Nix and Denver score in this Dallas defense? Probably. I think Denver wins this game. Maybe we'll look money line here. I got some bad. Like I said, I had this predicted at -4.5. So at the opener, 5.5. Yeah, I would have been on Dallas. 3. Yeah, this might be a buyback on Denver. We will see here. Also, Eagles Giants. Man, hate to get in front of this one again. But after that deflating loss against the Broncos last week, Giants go back on the road to Philly after who they just upset a few weeks ago. Philly's out for revenge. I have this at 8.5. Philly 8.5. It's sitting at 7. So I think it's 7 or better. Would definitely jump on this Eagles team here, bounce back, and get some revenge on their divisional rival. That's all we're circling so far, and that leaves us with the blacklist. A few college football games, only a couple that there's a lot I completely rolled out. Too many to talk about, but 2 specifically that are more higher profile that have kind of shown me value, but I'm just going to blacklist them and not touch them. One's Michigan. If I could have got this at the opener around 12.5, which I didn't, I had this projected at 15. It's sitting at 14 now. And Michigan's on the road going to Michigan State. This should be a blowout, but This is still one of those weird rivalry games, and I still don't fully trust this Michigan team. Michigan State has potential, especially at home. We're gonna stay away. We're just gonna X this off, blacklist it, not touching this game. Then Oklahoma Ole Miss. I do show some value on Ole Miss, especially up at 6, where this is popped at a couple of books. I have it -4.5 for Ole Miss or for Oklahoma. And this is just a matter of me not fully knowing John Mateer's status. I think this is another sleepy spot for Ole Miss off that loss to Georgia, going on the road to play this Oklahoma defense. I think Oklahoma definitely wins this game. I'm about ready to hit their win total for Oklahoma, so would love them to win this game. So for that reason, just going to stay away. I feel like Oklahoma should win this by a touchdown or not more, with a healthy John Mateer at home against Ole Miss, but I don't know how healthy John Mateer is. So blacklist in this game. Gonna root for Oklahoma. Give me that win total, but staying away. Blacklist. NFL, there's a bunch of games. Dolphins, Falcons. Don't want any part of that. My numbers showed value at Falcons at the opener -6. I missed it. It's up above 7. I don't have the guts to bet the Dolphins at this point, and this clusterfuck of a team. So we're staying away from the Dolphins. Colts, Titans. Show some value on the Colts here, but this is 12.5, 13. It's just too high. It's too high for me in a divisional game. Colts should rout this terrible Titans team, but not touching it. Browns, Patriots, also see a little bit of value on the Browns here. Anything above 7, but I don't trust Dylan Gabriel on the road. And so going to stay away from that one in the NFL. Then Commanders, Chiefs. Jaden Daniels is hurt. His game's all the way up to 10.5. It will open around 5.5. And this Chiefs is just blowing teams out right now. Even with Mariota coming in, Commanders, I see some value on the Commanders at 10.5. Anything above 10, but I just not get in front of the Chiefs again with so many question marks on the Commander side. So another blacklist game, not touching it. Stay away from that game. And that leaves us with the showstopper, the main event, our best bet. This is the NT Sports best bet of the football weekend. Let's go.
The main event, the showstopper, no doubter, say it with your chest. Stone Cold Thor's hammer, you will play better the century.
The Houston Texans got this at -0.5 point, -112 against the San Francisco 49ers. We saw the Niners win another one at home on Sunday Night Football against the Falcons. But now they go on the road. And we also saw a Texans team who offensively played really bad on Monday night. Doesn't seem like a team you'd want to back at this point. But dig a little bit deeper, this Texans team, we have them favored at -4. So I like this up to 2.5. I think it's sitting right now. The Houston Texans, 1.5. Opened at 2.5. I think it's been bouncing around. Sitting at 2.5. We pounced on it. It dropped down to 0.5 point. We jumped on it. We like the Texans here. We like this defense. Mac Jones hasn't been playing very well. He's going to be back starting this game. Purdy's, I think he's up and moving around. I don't think he's going to play. Mac Jones on the road against this Texans defense. This is a get-right spot for the Texans. I am a little bit worried about the Niners defense and what Robert Saleh's doing with all these injuries. All the injuries for San Francisco is going to catch up to him at some point. And I think this is the week going on the road against Houston. Mac Jones hasn't done much. Kind of turned back into a pumpkin at this point. And this is a bad spot for San Francisco going on the road to Houston. We have them favored as it is. Jump on a money line if you want to. Get a money line up to -150. It looks pretty good. Although the Niners have been winning games miraculously, I mean, props to Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh with what they're doing with all these injuries. But like I said, it's going to catch up to them. The underlying metrics don't look great, which is why we have the Houston favorite here -4. And this is the week they get got. This is an opportunity for Houston to try to get somewhat right on offense. We know their defense is going to keep them in the game. defense may win them this game, to be honest. They can just slow down McCaffrey a bit and force Mac Jones to throw the ball against the secondary and make some plays. We will see, but this is going to be another slugfest. This line's dropped from 40, the total's dropped from 43.5, 44.5 down to 41, 42 in most books. So looking like an under game, and some injury concerns, especially at the wide receiver position for Houston. Seeing Nico Collins hurt again, concussion protocol, see if he comes back. So it's going to come down to Texans making plays on defense, creating turnovers, getting something, just something from this offense and CJ Stroud, and just pulling out a W at home. That's all we need. Just win the game any way you can make it happen. So with the NT Sports best bet of the weekend, give us Houston minus 0.5, minus 112. That does it, folks. So once again, follow along throughout the weekend. I don't know if how many more bets we'll get down on, but we'll post them on the Action app as we play them. NT Sports 22 on Action Network app. Connect with us on all the social platforms. NT Sports 22, and go ahead if you're listening. If you're enjoying the podcast, you want us to keep this going, come back and hang out again. Tell a friend, rate, review the podcast, whatever platform you're listening to. Really appreciate you coming to hang out with us, and good luck this weekend. Let's bet smart, cash some tickets, and as always, good bets, good times. Cheers, everybody.